Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Pisces. If Pisces is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so Pisces, this is a bonus reading. And our card tonight is the Strength card. All right, let's go ahead and take a look and see what these tea leaves have to say. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Also, if you'd like to leave a comment, I would love to hear from you, especially if you're new to the channel. Definitely shout it out in the comment section. And if you'd like to like the video, that would be awesome too. Thank you. Okay. So I think there really is this kind of pulling. That's what it feels like. It feels like a pulling of your interests, of your desires, of your kind of internal stirrings, right? It's like the current has shifted, and I see you. And here I see we have a person standing. It looks like we have like a little tripod and a little telescope. And I imagine there's a really deep desire. Is it desire, a wanting to spend your time kind of exploring or observing? Right? And I think that's what it is. It's like observing. Now, maybe this is literally going out and looking at the stars. You might be somebody who, makes time for that, which I applaud you. Absolutely. I always have the intention of wanting to go sit, outside and look at the stars late at night. But by the time everybody is getting to sleep, do I actually go outside and do it? Yeah, once in a while. Not as much as I'd like, but I do. I feel like there's this distinct, it's almost kind of like you're into like people watching. That's the other thing that comes to mind here. So you like to kind of go somewhere, maybe sit outside on the patio to dine, and you just watch people. You go and get your coffee at the local coffee shop, a tea possibly, something, right? And you just sit. You sit and watch. And I feel like this is maybe something that you've always kind of done, right? It comes naturally to you. You are a watcher. You are an observer. You like to see how things work, especially, within people and their interactions with one another. But I also think that you probably like to watch other things too, like, like I said, the stars, the birds, the, things growing, or the rain, watching the rain. I did that the other day. I watched the rain. I sat in the garage. My daughter was riding her bike and in the garage, and I was just watching the rain go. It was beautiful. And there's a state of mind that we get in, right, when we are observing. There is a sense of being involved, but not quite, right? And I think that, I think of you as maybe kind of in the mode of maybe something like a naturalist, right? Do you know what a naturalist is? This is somebody who maybe professionally, academically studies plants and animals and, you know, environments and so on. But there are a lot of hobbyist naturalists as well. And I think you're just always kind of in that mode wherever you go. Maybe kind of a detective. You might be really drawn to things like true crime. You might even be somebody who works in security, or you're like a bounty hunter, or like a forensic, you know, financial detective. I don't know what they're called, but investigator, I guess. You know, something. I think you like to work out problems, right? And it really, once you get into something where it really takes your attention, you're just like in the thing, nothing feels better. Nothing feels better. You love the hunt of it, the figuring out all the little puzzles and riddles and details, and so here I see you really in that mode. I mean, really, absolutely found something that you're working diligently at. Okay. Now we have the repeating A. Uppercase A up here. So I almost wonder if this is more of like a beginning. This is the beginning. So we have a large bird. It looks like a pheasant. You can see the head here, the body. Here's kind of the tail. Pheasants are really cute when they run. I see them, I live in kind of farm country. So there are pheasants on the sides of the roads a lot. Also quail. You'll see quail out there as well. And they run around. They're eating stuff, and then as soon as the car gets closer, they run, and it's so they're so cute. They go hide in the grass and the bumper crops and stuff. Okay. So I feel like there's almost a situation where maybe you're kind of outside of your comfort zone. I almost feel like there's something going on where you feel like you're kind of put on display, right? Like you're kind of, being used a little bit. In the nicest way possible. But I feel like it's kind of like whatever it is that you are good at, or maybe there's something about you that's just extra charismatic or charming or, attractive to people. And I almost feel like you're often kind of the one in the family that gets pushed out in the public-facing situations, right? You're the one that's interacting with other people, kind of networking. When something needs to be done for the family, there's something within the community. You're kind of the representative of the family. And in my mind, I'm almost thinking it's kind of like somebody who is involved in some kind of, maybe, I don't know, like the PTA, right? In America here we have the parents, I don't know what the heck it's called. I don't even know. They're parents, right, that do fundraisers and events and things at their children's schools. They also kind of vote on, I don't know. I always just hear about it for like banning books or water bottles from school or whatever. That's what I can think of. But yes, it is kind of almost this feeling of like you're involved in things that you don't necessarily feel super passionately about, but you're the one that has maybe the will and social aptitude. I think it's like you're good at the small talk. You're good at kind of presenting everything in a way that is kind of neatly put together, right? And that makes you the obvious choice to kind of go out in the world and interact with people on behalf of your family. And for some reason, I feel like it's almost kind of like your family is very involved with itself. I feel like you're probably pretty tight-knit and easily could just live in your own world. And I think that you yourself are kind of the same way. I think that you're mostly introverted, most likely, and to be called on constantly to go do these things, to have these interactions. You're probably maybe the parent or the grandparent or caretaker who, like, you take your kids to like their dentist and their doctor, and you're the one that knows all the things, right? You know all of their teachers and the parents of their friends, or maybe this is like a job thing. Maybe you're kind of the one that ends up representing all of your coworkers, or if something needs to be done, or you need to go to like the boss or whatever, you're the one that kind of always gets elected to go and speak for everybody. And I think that you don't mind this, but I think that at times it feels like it's a lot of pressure for you, because I don't think that you necessarily love to have to be interacting with other people, but you're good at putting on kind of that cool as a cucumber, just, listening and involved in these conversations. You're good at remembering things and scheduling things. And ultimately, it feels like, this is there's something coming up here where once again, you're kind of, taking the lead role here. And ultimately, I think that you're willing to do this because it's for the betterment of not only your life, but the life of your family. But I feel like, and here we have a person beneath a tree, and we have another person swinging. I almost kind of feel like there's not a resentment, but it's kind of like, I think that you have hoped that somebody else will step up to this role. And maybe it is that your children have become adults and you thought, okay, well, at least, maybe one of them will end up being more extroverted, and able to take on some of this, these interactions or roles that I have been playing for some time, right? Or maybe my spouse will, I've asked them and I want them to, kind of play a more active role in some of these situations. And yeah, it kind of doesn't happen. And I don't know that it's like on a level of resentment, but I do feel like it's just kind of this wanting to have maybe more of a shared balance in these parts of life, of the social aspects of being a family, you know, and you know, and I think ultimately, you know, it just kind of is what it is. But you know, I think that in some part of you, you enjoy having, well, to be kind of this, you're the keeper of your family in a lot of ways. And that's it's a lot of work, responsibility, but it also feels good because you're good at it. Now, do you wish that you were good at it all the time? Maybe not. Maybe sometimes you think, I just want to be the one that doesn't, you know, that's bad at communication so they can take care of this, because I don't really, you know, I don't really want to have to go and do this thing. But, you know, I think that ultimately you end up deriving a lot of meaning from it. And I feel like, you know, sometimes we don't really realize how important it is to have these kinds of social interactions, right? I mean, I'm the same. If I could get away with never talking to anybody outside of my little family unit ever again, I would be so happy, especially in person. I love people. I love being around people, but I'm also so introverted. So introverted, you know, and it's difficult. The only reason I can do readings like this, first, because I'm not on camera. That freaks me out to be, you know, looking at the camera. But I'm talking to, you know, the camera, off camera. I mean, you know, my hands are here. But it's easier because it's not a live conversation. I turn into such a fumbling, just, you know, wreck when I have to have serious conversations with somebody, or even, you know, in person, even small talk. I am that person that will ask you, oh, how you doing? What have you guys been up to? Like 3 times in one conversation, because I don't know what to say. I forget I already asked, you know. I can't tell you how many times I'll walk into someplace and they'll be like, oh, how you doing? I'll say, oh, good. How are you doing? And they say, oh, I'm good. And then, you know, 2 seconds later, I'm like, oh, cool. Thank you. You know, whatever, how have you been? What's going on? How are you doing? It's like, I just said that. So, you know, it just, yeah, it's embarrassing. Now, interestingly, we have the number 37. Oh my goodness. I just watched a video on YouTube. You have to look it up. 37 being the number that most people pick when they're asked to pick a number between 1 and 100. 37 and 73, I guess, are the most commonly picked numbers. So interesting that it came up. I really, honestly, hand to God, I absolutely saw this last night. That's so weird. I can't wait to tell my husband. Shout out to my husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. His name is Paul. He's amazing. So 37, we were watching that last night. How funny. So anyways, let's see. Yeah, I ultimately feel, okay, to get to this being like something that is beyond a profile of you, I do feel like there's just this kind of moment in your life where you are looking over things, you are thinking about, you know, all of your accomplishments, really, and maybe, you know, parts of your life that have gone in ways that you did not expect, okay, There is and I think ultimately there's this part of yourself that's leading you away from these more social aspects of life, where it's almost kind of like, okay, so I've been doing this kind of, you know, family dance, I guess. I don't know what to call it, but, you know, trying to live as a family, doing all the things that families do, and all of the interactions that I must have on behalf of my family. And now I'm at a point in my life where I want to start focusing on other things. I want to get more into myself. I want to, be able to go and watch the stars, go and have a coffee and just watch people. I don't want to have to interact with them necessarily, right? And I do, and I feel like this is the big thing. There is a shift here happening, and I feel you really kind of being quite brave and realigning the way that you are living in such a way that it kind of honors this desire. And this might not seem like a big deal just as I'm saying it, like, oh, this isn't like I'm winning a bunch of money or I'm getting married or, you know, there's a grandbaby on the way. No, a lot of times in these readings, it's about these subtle kinds of strokes of energy and streams of consciousness that flow through our lives. And it might seem like not that big of a change that, okay, well, I'm just going to kind of, you know, delegate some of these responsibilities, or maybe I'm just not going to be doing this stuff as much. Maybe I'm going to kind of allow myself to have more time to do the things that I want to do instead of kind of stacking my, you know, plate up with a lot of stuff that has to do with our collective family or friends group, or, you know, whoever it is. Maybe it's even within your work, right? And now somebody else has to kind of do some of this stuff, or it's not going to get done. And, you know, I think anybody who has been involved in a situation where, you're responsible for a lot of things and other people, right? And for the collective goals, right? Knows this feeling of, okay, now I need a little bit of a break, because it's been a lot lately. And ultimately, I think that's about where you're at. I want to do what I need to do, and that I really feel has a lot of desire for quiet. Quiet, you know, not having to show up all the way, right? To kind of just be. And you know, I think that part of this is maybe a natural instinct to save yourself from burnout. And I think that's really the big thing here, is there's a sense of kind of just being weary from it all. Now, we have the number 35. We also have a dog who looks like it's prancing a little bit, okay? Right up here. And so I feel like maybe there is a little bit of salvation in taking time to be with a good friend. And I feel like this is somebody that, and it could be a spouse even, or, you know, a family member that you're very close with. But I do feel like this is somebody that you can just be around and not have to work very hard to, you know, be in a place of ease with them. I feel like this is somebody that you could like go fishing with, and you sit there for like 3 hours and don't even say anything to each other. You're just cool being next to each other. You're just fine hanging out, not saying anything. And That's not because, listen, not because you're just sitting on your phone. We do a lot of that now, don't we? We're all on our phones and nobody's talking and we're just kind of, you know, next to each other. That's not what I mean. I think this is like a just mutual peace, respect. You don't ever have to worry about where you stand with this person because you're just cool. Everything is good. It's an easy way to know somebody. And there is a belovedness in that. I think this is why, maybe not the only reason, but one of the reasons why you really love this person so much, because they don't make it hard, you know? And I think that you're also, Pisces, really good at not making things hard. I think that's the last thing that you're looking for, is some kind of conflict or difficulty within your relation with somebody. That is, you know, it's tedious. It's tedious, time consuming, and the emotionality, I think, just is overwhelming to you when it gets like that. So I feel like this is really a relationship that is very elevated for you. And something that I would say, yeah, lean into this, especially when you are kind of really deciding to take this little reprieve from your normal duties in life. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at our self-care cards. And I'm going to stop where it feels right. It says, okay, community sculptor. I cultivate the skills, or no, excuse me. I cultivate the skill of friendship. Like a sculptor with marble, I mold my community of friends. The world is full of friends I have yet to meet. All right, so this is like the opposite. You're out here making more friends, creating more friends. Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe it's all on the other side. Maybe you have to lean into your social interactions versus, you know, kind of a little bit of hermit mode. No more hermit mode. Although, I don't know. This time of the year, unless maybe you're in the southern hemisphere and it's real cold and it's been dreary and, you know, you're ready to emerge back into society. But in the summer here, oof, I get burnt out on the interactions with people. I love all the things that I get to do and the people my family, chosen family and all that. But I look forward to the cold months when nobody wants to go anywhere. That sounds like heaven to me. So anyways, Pisces, I almost said Libra. Pisces, I want to tell you I love you because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you, and if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And what else? I don't know. Oh, yes, the comments. Yes, if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. And I don't know what's going on with the algorithm. It was getting better. Now it's just abysmal again. So I don't know. Yeah, just leave a comment if you can. If you've made it to the end here, yes, leave a comment. It really does help with engagement. Hopefully pushing the video out further. Hopefully this period of time is going to kind of, well, it'll swing back up. I think, I don't know. Hopefully. But yes, other than that, yeah, if you are new to the channel, definitely shout it out in the comments. I appreciate you. Okay, once again, Pisces, so much love. Take care of yourself. We'll talk in a couple days. Good night.